Hello and welcome to EDU. You know, it's important to realize that the first 2 years of your academic history are the most important 2 years because it's during those 2 years that you establish what kind of a student you're going to be. I work in graduate admissions of medical programs at a university in Tampa, Florida, and many of the applicants that I speak with on a regular basis tell me that they are concerned about their cumulative GPA and how it may prevent them from being accepted into one of our programs. They tell me that their first 2 years of college, they didn't know what they wanted to do, or that they didn't take college very seriously. Now, after they've graduated with a bachelor's degree, they're looking at pursuing a graduate degree in the medical field. But their past may prevent them from doing what they are capable of doing in the present because of the first 2 years of grades. This is actually a common tragedy in higher education. It is vital that during the first 2 years of college, students do well because these are the most vulnerable years. The problem is that most of them are either majoring in a subject they will change their minds about within the first 2 years of attending college, or they won't do well in their studies due to the fact that they aren't studying enough because of the distractions of the campus life. So, how can most traditional students avoid these problems? Let me just say that the solution is not appropriate for everyone who starts their bachelor's degree program, but it is a very good idea for most. You want your credits to count in the future. You want to develop a good grade point average, and you don't want to waste any time or money. So I'm not going to recommend a transformational personal development program here because I think most people wouldn't take that seriously anyway. Although I think it could help because it could enable students to better understand what they really want in life. To those students who truly know themselves, what they want to do, and are doing it, I think you should ignore this advice because you won't really need it, since truly knowing what you want is the real problem here, okay? So just think about that. But if you're not one of those people, those fortunate people, just heed this advice. Okay, so bearing that in mind, I recommend a solution that considers the likelihood that most traditional students will start college not really knowing what they want to do. Here it is. Just take your general education courses for the first 2 years, okay? Don't take any major courses since you may decide to change your major in a year or two. Think about that. Look at your older siblings or your older friends. If you were to take any major courses only to change your major afterwards, then those classes would most likely be worthless to your degree since you wouldn't be able to apply them to your degree. For example, if you went from being a business major to a physical therapy major, then your business credits most likely wouldn't apply to your degree, thereby wasting valuable credits, time, and limited funds. This is an even bigger issue if you're depending on financial aid, and most students are, because the Department of Education limits the amount of financial aid you are allowed in a lifetime, okay? That's right. You are only allowed a certain amount of educational government assistance funds in your entire life. So why would you want to waste that money on credits you won't be able to apply to your degree completion? Instead, invest in credits you can apply towards any degree. Most undergraduate degrees require a certain amount of credits in English, communications, humanities, math, science, social sciences, etc. And they usually don't have a time limitation on their validity. So, if you're thinking that these kinds of credits are not an investment in your future degree, think again. In fact, these credits can be an investment in your graduate degree as well. Not as part of your graduate degree, but as prerequisite courses towards your application to your graduate degree program. So they're actually more valuable to your future than your undergraduate major courses are. Think about it. Limiting your first 60 credits to general education courses, however, is only part of the solution to early academic waste. The other solution I offer is to start at a community college instead of a big university, because they have good accreditation. They're regionally accredited. They usually don't require you to enroll in a degree program, and they're cheap. Seriously. Again, why waste valuable financial aid money on credits that may not be applicable to your degree program when classes in which you earn a grade below a C usually are not accepted in a transfer of credits? Besides, most students start off with their lowest grades in their first 2 years of college. So I have to ask you, how much do you want to spend on your D's and F's? This is when the ego kicks in for most. I'm not going to get any D's or F's. Okay, but what if you do? Do you want to earn them at the university where you'd like to complete your bachelor's degree? Or do you want to pay a smaller amount of money for them first at a community college, only to lose them in an academic transfer when you commit to your bachelor's degree and major at the university of your choice? This is the less expensive way to learn these hard lessons about college life, because community colleges are usually the cheapest schools in your area. They also don't require you to enroll in a degree program, just to take your general education courses. So you have a lot more freedom to adjust to different events in life which may get in the way of your study time. Think about that. And that's a privilege that most universities don't offer. This is an advantage. This is the advantage, one of the advantages of community colleges that most people don't think about. So it's important to mention it. But most importantly, I have to mention the fact that most community colleges are also regionally accredited, okay? Thereby making their credits very transferable. I know most people find that hard to believe, but community college credits are usually more transferable than credits from, say, nationally accredited universities. So, starting off at a community college can be a great solution to traditional students' academic waste as well. My solution to the problem of early academic waste is very simple. Start at a community college with general studies courses only. This will keep your first 2 years of college as productive and cheap as possible. The problem with most traditional students committing to these strategies is that they usually want to be identified with their university and their major so that they can use their ego to motivate them to do well in their classes and complete their program as soon as possible, because that is the only way they think that they can claim the title of their degree. In other words, they want to be able to say, I am an occupational therapist now. These students know they can't walk around saying, I am a general studies-ist. So traditional students need to stop investing in their egos and start investing in their futures. I know, tell that to a teenager. That's the whole point of higher education. It's a long-term goal, which you benefit from years later. So let go of being your major. Be yourself and make wise, productive choices for the sake of your future self. You owe it to the person you will be 10 years down the road. Think about it. All right, I know I sound like I'm a broken record. Anyway, good luck. And until the next video, take care.